Markets on air. With a focus on e-mobility on the move, transport is changing gear. Fossil fuels still dominate in aviation, but advances in electrically powered planes could soon change that. Modern batteries are already providing enough energy to get airborne. Startups like Volocopter are designing lightweight, computer-piloted aerial vehicles they hope will soon replace taxis and help cut down on congestion in urban centres.
First, of course, in the third dimension, there is a lot more space. So you're not all moving at the same flight level. It means that we can really use a lot more space, and it'll go in stages. So we won't solve the whole traffic jam problem in just one day, but the Volocopter and the air taxis, they will be part of the transportation ecosystem in the major cities.
More than 50 companies are vying to get the first electric air taxi off the ground, including major players like Airbus. It's planning to test fly its city Airbus later this year.
One of the exciting things about flying in megacities is that I don't need much range. Most flights only last about 15 minutes or 30 kilometers. And we already get that with today's or tomorrow's battery technology.
But electric flight isn't just confined to such tiny aircraft. Siemens, Airbus and Rolls-Royce are collaborating on prototype hybrid electrical engines for commercial jets, which promise increased fuel efficiency. They're putting hundreds of millions of euros into the project. And they've caught the interest of leading airlines like Lufthansa.
I think one of the most exciting things for us today in the discussion around the potentials of this new technology is you reduce the noise level of these aircraft, you reduce the emissions, and that could allow the future airports to be much closer to the city centre. And that's the game changer.
Now it's up to the developers and manufacturers to make those promises really take off. There's certainly plenty of demand.
90 million euros. That's how much Munich-based startup Lilium is investing in its all-electric air taxi. The Lilium jet completed its first successful test flight a year ago. Now the prototype is being turned into a 5-seat air taxi, which Lilium hopes will soon be approved. The company plans to be the first to fly e-taxis around Germany by the early 2020s. But the competition is stiff. Other manufacturers are also hurrying to get their small aerial vehicles on the market.
China lowers import tariffs. As of July, duty on cars entering the Chinese market is set to drop to 15% from the current 25%. Some car makers, including Germany's Daimler and Tesla in the US, have already announced price reductions. Germany's BMW and Audi are likely to follow suit. China is the biggest market for German automakers. They now sell a third of their vehicles in China. In fact, most of them are assembled there. Last year, Germany exported 21.6 billion euros worth of premium cars and vehicle parts to China. So it's no wonder that the tariff reduction is being welcomed by manufacturers. It's another major step in a market opening that has frequently been announced by the Chinese government.
Record sales of robots. Humans are growing more and more used to robots. Once feared as mechanical job killers, they are now being recast as sensitive colleagues that can work hand in hand with people. Artificial intelligence is making machines smarter and easier to use. Just a gesture may be enough to tell a robot what to do. And that's giving a boost to the robotics sector. German companies posted record turnovers with robotics and automation to the tune of 13.7 billion euros in 2017. That's a growth of 67% over the past decade. So-called cobots, or collaborative robots that physically interact with humans in the workspace, are more and more in demand. It's a market that is forecast to quadruple in the next 5 years.
Hamburg. The northern German city is known for its high quality of life and for its giant harbour, where thousands of tons of goods are moved every day. Last year, the port of Hamburg handled 8.8 million containers full of cargo from and for countries around the world. The port's main logistics operator posted revenues of over 1.25 billion euros, up 6% from the year before. The city is home to the German headquarters of aircraft manufacturer Airbus, which employs 12,500 people. At the company's plant in the Finkenwerder district, they assemble the A320 series of jets and build parts for the giant A380. Hamburg is investing millions of euros in environmentally friendly public transport. It's currently converting its entire bus fleet to e-buses. 12 of the electric vehicles are already in use. 60 more have been ordered. Germany's second largest city is highly popular with tourists. Last year, around 14 million visitors came to see the revamped warehouse district, where carpets and other goods are still stored in historical buildings, as well as Hamburg's new landmark, the spectacular Elbphilharmonie Concert Hall. And that was Markets on Air.